Hi, everybody. We're just going to give a quick update because it is the 4th of July. Well, tomorrow's the 4th of July. Today is the 3rd. But actually, today isn't even it because we're recording this ahead of time. So time is a circle.
Right.
No, we're just going to give a quick channel update. No full video today.
So first and foremost, we want to thank all our new subscribers, all of you guys for commenting, doing the polls and stuff like that. It's really awesome. We love to see how much we're growing right now. It's so thank you guys so much for that.
We're really excited that we got like 3 videos in a row with over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
2 of them have over 2,000.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for that. We appreciate all the views, even those of you who only watch for the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We still appreciate it. So
guys, keep telling, your friends and letting other people know. Keep liking our videos, just get that YouTube algorithm just so it gets into everyone's, who's interested in this kind of content. We are really appreciative of this. Like, I know we're not near like 1,000 subs and stuff like that. I know that's kind of
that's our current goal. Yeah,
that's our current goal. But like, I think it's really neat that how many people have subscribed that generally don't know us. Most of the people that have subscribed to us, people we don't know, obviously, But I think that's super cool. This is kind of very new for me. So thanks again.
Yeah, and then of course, like we said, when we hit 1,000, we're gonna do a Q&A. So you can ask us all the fun things like, is Charles's beard fake? Stay tuned to find out.
I don't like calling them Q&As. I call them quaz.
You can find out if we're gonna call it that or not. Spoiler alert, we're not.
Not.
Another thing we want to talk about is on one of our most recent videos, we got a lot of comments specifically about one particular gaming system that people were not a fan of our takes on. We hear you. We heard you a lot. Thank you for the, impressions, whatever the term is. Yeah, so we're talking about DC-20 specifically.
Mm-hmm.
In case it wasn't obvious, the point of that video was just to talk about gaming systems we haven't necessarily played but are going to try to take over for Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah.
But we heard a lot of you loud and clear. You have to play it. So we're going to try to do something. We're waiting until the Kickstarter is done, fully funded. I did back it. So we're not going to get the rules in like some shady way. Don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. But we're going to wait till like the beta is out and we can start doing that and start looking at it from more of a objective way, I guess, in that regard. Yeah. And then you guys can't get upset with us when we say things. Or you can. I mean, I really don't care. It's your opinion. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, this is not by any means for us to be like, oh, we're so sorry for what we said. Again, we came at it from a perspective of we hadn't played it. And I think we made it pretty clear that we didn't. And a lot of you guys called us out on it. I'm like, that's fair. You're right. We hadn't played it, so let's give it a shot. So we will be doing that, but it will happen later because we won't get it till July, right?
Yeah, so like the actual beta rules won't be out till July. I'm going to be out of the country for 2 weeks, so
and I'll be out for a week as well, a weekend.
So expect some of our responses to the DC-20 game around August.
Yeah.
I think Critical Role is also going to release their final update before they release the big actual game of Daggerheart. So we might also talk about that as well in a more detailed oriented spot. Also recognizing that these are beta rules and beta rules can and will change. Another thing we wanted to quickly address, or I guess talk about, here's the thing. It's easy to talk about Dungeons & Dragons and get a lot of views because that's the thing people are always searching for. We necessarily don't want to because we think there's a lot of better RPGs out there. But it's hard to when they're releasing a bunch of new content that makes it easy to make videos for, especially with a new edition coming out. Mm-hmm. So we just want to know in the comments. You can either tell us, yes, talk about the new edition of Dungeons & Dragons, or no, I actually want to see you guys talk about other things. Because as far as I'm aware, we've been doing a lot better with the other things, but it's also possible we could see more people clicking on our videos if we actually talked about 5th edition. But if you guys, the core people who are engaging with our content, who are watching it and commenting, don't want that, we're not going to do it. Yeah.
And I'm going to clarify for myself, too, because Frank and I are 2 independent people as well. We don't always agree on everything.
Correct.
Again, I don't necessarily think that Dungeons & Dragons, again, and just so you know, he did not say Dungeons & Dragons was bad. He just thinks there's better TTRPGs out there. Mm-hmm. I think, Dungeons & Dragons is fantastic. I think it's fine the way it is for the most part. But I do believe there are other systems that I want to play. Like some things I'm interested in right now. Like I've been watching Dimension 20. They've played a couple kids on bikes, that and kids on brooms. I'm very interested in playing that. Mm-hmm. So that's something we'll probably be reviewing as well. But there are so many other systems out there, and there's so many games out there that I think it would be a disservice if all we ever talked about was Dungeons and Dragons.
And also on top of that, we're wanting to eventually do some live or some actual play, some like recorded stuff of long-term campaigns, short-term campaigns and stuff like that. And so we have to also figure out like what systems are going to not just be enjoyable for you who found us, but then also enjoyable for people who maybe haven't played those systems before, maybe are never heard of them. That's kind of like the hard part when there's like such a big behemoth that is Dungeons and Dragons, and then everything else kind of is just like a niche within itself. And we just want to cover as many of those as possible, but we don't know what's going to be good. So just know down the line, we are already thinking about doing live plays and stuff like that, or actual plays, not live plays. They will be recorded. Yeah. But
again, as our channel grows, our content, again, will continue to grow. If you're interested, again, we did a one shot with just Frank and I. Again, it's an older video. You can go back and watch it if you want. Not super. I know for some people it's not super exciting to watch two people go back and forth. Most people, when you're playing any kind of tabletop, you want to have like 3 or 4 people at least. You know, which plus a dungeon master, game master. But yeah, no, we want to make sure that we are putting out the content that we want to put out, but at the same time, making sure this is stuff that you guys want to see as well. Again, I would love to do one shots and stuff like that, but our first one shot didn't do so hot, so it was like, we are looking at those things too.
Yeah, and then also on top of that is just time and
logistics.
We also want to, if we get other people to do it, we want to compensate them to some extent.
Correct.
So that's also things on top of that. Outside of that, I think that's really it. We might look into merch, but like not traditional merch in the sense of stuff that's branded towards us. We might do some other things, so be on the lookout for that.
And we might do merch that's branded towards us too. Again, we have some ideas. Again, with the way our channel's growing, it's growing very steadily. We're not like meteoric, rising or anything. But we are looking, and if you have suggestions, let us know in the comments. That goes for anything, really, guys. Let us know, hey, this is what I want to see on your channel. And we may or may not do it. I'm not saying that, but again, we'd love to know your thoughts on what you want to see us do. Again, we're probably 90% of the things you guys suggest, we're probably interested in them. But there are a few, maybe like, that's not really what we're looking for. But again, who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, a lot of our content is going to be based around people who are newer to the hobby.
Yeah.
Like Charles, maybe they've only ever played Dungeons and Dragons, and now they're looking for other things. So we're talking about in the future, for example, we're going to talk about different kinds of initiative systems. We're going to talk about the difference between class systems and skill systems, what that looks like. We're probably going to do a review, but not of an RPG. We're going to talk about Fiasco. I think that's a good one to talk about.
I love Fiasco.
We're probably not going to do that in the same way, but maybe we will. We haven't figured out the review.
It's a little different than your typical TTRPG. It's more narrative driven and more narrative focused. But again, especially if you're a theater kid, if you haven't played Fiasco, or if you've got that drama bug, definitely check out Fiasco. You'll love it. Because again, I don't consider myself a theater person, but I did hang out with theater kids in high school, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for those videos. They will be coming later this month.
Yeah.
And then other videos, like we said, will come out when they're ready and all that jazz. I think that's it. That was really it. It was going to be, like I said, short video because Frank wants to have a break. And also because I have to edit a bunch of videos before I leave the country. So
yes, because, and you know what? And a big ups to Frank over here, because Frank does he does all of our editing. He does everything on his own. The best thing I do for him is I provide an area and I kind of set up. And that's about it. Oh, and I'm pretty, so.
Yeah. You could be prettier.
I could be prettier. I'll try.
Have you tried putting glitter in the beard?
You know what, guys? Get us to 500 subs.
No, don't do that. There's going to be glitter everywhere. It's not worth it.
I'll do it.
Unless it is, put it in the comments.
I have children. It's fine. I'm used to messes.
So we've reached the point where we're going to be done with the video. But anyway.
And by the way, Dimitri Martin.
What?
Glitter.
Dimitri Martin?
Dimitri Martin. Have you heard? He's a comedian.
Oh, I thought this was like one of your nephews. See, we're already off the rails. Stay witty, everybody.
Stay witty.